Mr. Heyman was asking you a series of questions about your the objection that you filed. I just have a couple of questions. You filed part of your objection, and we can look at we can provide you with your objection and the exhibits if you need it. Part of your objection dealt with your claim that there was that part of the fees were excessive because of duplicative efforts.
Yes.
Mr. Heyman asked you if you were a lawyer or if you had legal background. Did you make those objections because you thought that you had some kind of legal background or legal training?
No.
How was it that you came to decide that you thought those fees were excessive? What was sort of the method that you used?
Well, I started with Section 330 of the Code and duplication of services, and then I reviewed the time and billings from each of the firms and noticed that many times 3 people like David Amon, Leon Simpson, and Haley Bajirk or something would be on the same thing as, you know, Ewan Rose and, you know, a couple people over at Obsidian, and I'm looking at all their billing rates, and so to me, going through all the billing rates and that all of the people have to be involved in one meeting seems like a duplication of services when communication could be limited to a email or a quick note or something like that.
Okay. Another aspect of your objection to the fees has to do with the amount of fees expended by the estate on completing exchanges. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, did you have a... This is a similar question to the one I just asked. In preparing that part of your objection, did you have a methodology or a process that you used to... Your objection states that it's your belief that the estate could have saved...
$125,000.
Okay. If it had done things a certain way. And what I'd like you to explain for the record is how you went about coming up with that.
I went through all the time and billings to pick out the time first spent on exchanges and the names of the people who were on these exchanges that they were dealing with, and figured out, I couldn't really tell how many were reverse exchanges and how many were straightforward exchanges, but I could tell on it how many that were completed pretty much from the time and billings, and I took the total fees and the total exchanges, and I said, well, these fees here look like a lot compared to the number of exchanges. I asked my dad, what does a 1031 exchange company charge for completing for a whole exchange, and then what would they charge for doing half an exchange? And I multiplied, since half of the exchange had already been completed by some at 1031 and the attorneys were supposed to just finish the other half. I took half of the exchange fee times the number of exchanges that they completed to come up with the number that another professional would have charged in the same, you know, as a qualified intermediary.
Okay. I think the following question will be my last, unless you have follow-up.
I have a couple.
Okay. Mr. Heyman was asking you questions and you were answering them not too long ago about offers that you had made to the trustee to purchase the estate's interest in the Klondike LLC.
Yes.
And there was some discussion of the fact that valuations of the property owned by the LLC have ranged from just over $1 million down to under, in the sort of 670 something range, $670 something thousand range.
Yes.
Now, I just want to be clear about this. The lowest estimate, the 677, that was provided by whom?
By Dan Steelhammer, who is at Windermere Commercial Realty.
Okay, so he's a licensed realtor in Bend?
Yes.
Okay, and he did a valuation of the building?
Correct.
Okay, and we had looked at an analysis that you had done in January that was based on a certain value that was much higher than what the realtor said the property was worth, and as a result of your analysis based on the higher value, there was a number that would be the value of the estates.
Correct.
If you were to perform that same analysis using the number, the value of 677 provided by the licensed realtor in Bend, what would the value of the estate's interest come out to be?
It would come out to be about 60% of the 671.
The value of the estate.
Oh, what's going to actually cash going to the estate, or the value?
Well, if you did that same analysis, or let me ask it this way: how did you arrive at the roughly $28,000 offer that you made to Mr. Patrick to buy out the estate's interest?
I took the 671 fair market value from Dan Steelhammer times the interest of Mark, Tim, and Brian. Then I took the loan balance that we owed at the time times Mark, Brian, and Tim's interest, and the net of that is $28,000. So, let's see.
That's
okay?
That's a sufficient answer. I'm done.